So it all boils down to this, folks. The final games of the UEFA World Cup qualifying campaign for 2026. Who's going to go through to the World Cup? Who, of course, will go home? That's right. We're going to take a little look. All of it next. That's right, folks. Back once again with another video. Today we take a look at Matchday number 10, I think, over in the UEFA World Cup Qualifiers for 2026 World Cup. That's right. With some nations already eliminated, some have their futures to be decided, and of course, see who will go through to that World Cup next year. That's right. We'll get into all of that and more. If you're new, where have you been? Smash your subscribe, your subscribe for Blackburn Rovers, World Cup Qualifiers, World Cup itself. That's right. We've got it all here under one roof. And in this final video, so the part 3 now of the 3-part trilogy that is this. We're going to predict the games that involve Scotland. We have, of course, Spain are in this one, and Switzerland amongst others. So we'll get into all of that in a minute, but before that, let's recap where we are in the tables now over in the World Cup qualifiers. Now, this does include the games that were played already on Sunday, so we've got updated tables in that regard. So let's have a look at it then, the situation over in Europe. And it looks like this, guys, as you see it. Of course, these were unaffected tables so far. Germany are in action today in an all-important must-win game against, or must-not-lose game against Slovakia, looks like, as those two sides duke it out for the one spot from Group A. Playoff spots is likely will go to the other side. Their Group B sees Switzerland. They're in charge right here, right now. They are in this video. They are just about there. Kosovo can technically catch them, but of course the goal difference is way out of their hands. Slovenia, Sweden, they will not be participating next year. Meanwhile, the Danes and Scotland, they duke it out, of course, head-to-head in Scotland. Big game this is, of course, a must-win for Scotland. The Danes, a draw would do it. Of course, Denmark slipping up to Belarus this past midweek there, of course, with the draw, which nobody saw that one coming, did they? Let's drop down another one to Group D and La France. La France, they are there. Ukraine are in the playoffs. They ousted Iceland in that final important match there to set their fate up. To extend into 2026, they will be in that playoff. Meanwhile, Spain are just about there as well. Who they take? They're taking on Turkey. If they lose convincingly, then maybe Turkey have a chance. But realistically, Spain's goal difference of 19 should see them well and truly through there, with Turkey settling for the playoff spot. Meanwhile, Portugal are just about there as well. Superior goal difference, it looks like. They put 9. In fact, they are there. This group is done and dusted. They put 9 past Armenia this past week there. Ireland with an absolute crazy way to end their campaign. 3-2 win in Hungary to set themselves up into the playoffs, of course. So Ireland continuing into the next year. Of course, I'd love to see them back the world stage. Let's go to Group G. We have Netherlands and Poland. I think they're in action today. Again, shootout between the two sides, but the Dutch are in control. Goal difference significant. Poland will probably have to settle for a playoff. Meanwhile, Austria are in charge over in Group H over Bosnia. 2 points clear, so they can be caught. They are in this video, so we'll have a look at those in a minute. Norway did it. What a perfect campaign they've had here. 8 wins on the bounce. They're beating Italy in Italy to wrap it up, to put them through. 6 points clear over their next best there. So Norway and the golden generation are there. Of course, it is a right time as well for them. Let's see how well they could do in the World Cup. They could be serious challengers with a perfect record like that. Who knows? Belgium are just about there as well. 2 points clear, though, over North Macedonia. They are also, at the end of this video, they are. Of course, if they draw, then opportunity may knock for the likes of Wales. But goal difference is significant there, so they need to lose. In fact, if they lose, then North Macedonia take charge with their goal difference of it's not looking good for Wales, but Wales could sneak into that playoffs at the expense of North Macedonia. So a draw for the Welsh. Actually, looking at this completely wrong. Into Group G we go, and the Belgians are in charge. They've, of course, taken on Liechtenstein this week. So a big chance for them to dominate this one. But straight shootout between North Macedonia and Wales in Wales for that runners-up spot. A win for Wales will put them into second place. A draw will keep Macedonia there. England qualified, perfect record as well. 24 points for them. No goals conceded. Albania nicked the second spot there at the expense of Serbia. Croatia also there already. 19 points for them. They've got Czechia on their heels. They're taking place today as Montenegro. Yeah, we'll see all. But these are the games we're going to be focusing on right here, right now, as we look forward to the final round of games So let's kick it off with a trip to La Suède, Sweden, to you and I, as of course Graham Pott's boys try to get something going at the back end of this campaign. So that's Strawberry Arena, as Graham Potter's boys, who are fourth right now, just the 1.4 defeats on the spin, winless in the last 5. Taking on Slovenia side under Matis Kic, who are third right now, 3 points for them, also winless in the last 5. Speaking of 5, they played 5 times these two nations in 2008. We have 2 wins for Sweden, nothing for Slovenia. There's been 3 draws. The last 2, though, have been draws between these two sides, stretching back to the last time they played in Sweden way back in September 2022. It was a 1-1 thriller there, and the reverse fixture in this competition, or this qualifiers, was a 2-2 thriller back in Slovenia back in September this campaign. Meanwhile, coming into Switzerland, did beat Sweden last time around, 4-1 it was over in La Suisse. Not good for Sweden at all. Just 1 goal scored in the last 4. Up against Slovenia, also finding problems in the front of goal there, winless and scoreless in the last 4 matches. Now, coming into this, the bookies will back Sweden. Graham Potter's got to get something right here, and I'm going to go with a 1-0 win. Just a 1-0 win. Not many goals in these two nations right now, so that's how I see it play out this coming Tuesday. Meanwhile, Kosovo taking on Switzerland, that's right. Kosovo are in second, 10 points for them, just 1 defeat in the last 6 under Franco Voda. Up against the Swiss under Murat Yakin, they're unbeaten in at least the last 9 matches, and they played Kosovo 4 times since 2022. Nothing for Kosovo, 1 win for Switzerland. There has been 3 draws. They last played, of course, over at Kosovo's a 2-2 thriller way back in September 2023. They also played in this qualifiers. It was a 4-0 win for La Suisse back in September 2025. Kosovo, though, looking good right now. Unbeaten in at least the last 4 and haven't conceded a goal in that last 4. Up against Switzerland, who are also pretty tight at the back line there. They've just lost, conceded 1 goal in the last 6 matches. That was against Sweden. But again, draws against Slovenia, wins over Sweden, Slovenia, Kosovo, and the US of A. Make them definitely a contender for one of the European nations in a World Cup next year. So the bookies will back. They'll back Switzerland. I'm going to back a Swiss win here, 2-0 win at Kosovo to complete their pack there. Let's go to Belarus as they take on Greece in a bit of a dead rubber here. Belarus under Carlos Alios, they sit 4th right now, just 1 point for them. Up against Greece under Ivan Jovic, they sit 3rd with 6 points, of course. Now, they played Belarus 3 times since 2006. 1 win for Belarus, 2 wins for Greece, no draws. That's right. This match taking place at the ZTE Arena. Belarus coming into this having lost to Greece in the reverse fixture 5-1 way back in September 2025. They'd also picked up a cheeky draw, though, 2-2 against the Danes that have given life left into this group heading into the final match. Prior to that, they did lose to the Scots, of course. Also losing to to Denmark in Belarus way back in October. As for the Greeks, they picked up a 3-2 win over Scotland. Their first win in 3 games there, so a massive result for Greece, denting the hopes of the Scots in this one. But of course, coming into this one, the bookies will back Greece. They should do. I think they're a sleeping giant. They need to be woken up here. I think they'll get the 2-1 win. But again, their dream is already over. Then we go to the big game. That's right, over in Scotland. Of course, we're heading over to Hampden Park over in Group C. The Scots under Steve Clarke, they sit second with 10 points. They just 1 defeat in the last 6 up against the Danes and Brian Rima. They sit top of the box with 11 points. A draw will do for the Danes. Scotland have to win, and if they do, they are at the World Cup. A draw will see them go through to the playoffs regardless. They played 11 times since 1970. Scotland have won 6 of them. The Danes have won 4 of them, and there has been 1 draw. Speaking of draws, that last draw was back in September 2025 in Denmark when these two sides last played. They last played also in Scotland back in November 2021, where Scotland came out on top with a 2-0 win. In fact, Scotland won their last 3 in Scotland, and they, of course, just conceded 1 goal in that last 3 against the Danes. Scotland, though, did lose to Greece, not the greatest preparation for this game. As for the Danes, slipping up themselves with a draw against Belarus in Denmark. So, but the last couple of games on the road for Danes have been pretty fantastic, scoring 9 goals in the last 2 on the road, conceding none as well. The bookies will back Denmark. Looks pretty ominous. But I am not that way. I'm not that way inclined. I'm going to back my boys here, of course. I'm going to go with Scotland with. Of course, they're going to do it the only way they know how. Just a 1-0 scrappy-tappy-do goal. And, of course, hold on for dear life. And if that's the case, they will be going to the World Cup, of course. Meanwhile, we're going to go over to Bulgaria as they take on Georgia. That's right, over the Vasil Levitsky's National Stadium, Bulgarian Alexander Dimitrov. Sit 4th right now, no points on the board. In fact, they haven't won in the last 10 matches. Georgia, though, under Willie Sagnol, hit a bit of a bad spell themselves. Just 1 win in the last 6. They sit 3rd with 3 points. They played Bulgaria 9 times since 1994. Bulgaria winning 4 of them, Georgia winning 3 of them, and there's been 2 draws. A reverse fixture in Georgia back in September was a 3-0 win for Georgia, who are unbeaten against Bulgaria in the last 3. Bulgaria losing to Turkey most recently 2-0. It's been pretty grim stuff for them. The last 3, conceding 12 goals in the last 3 matches, scoring just the 1. As for Georgia, not great for them either. Losing to Spain, losing to Turkey. Also conceding, 10 goals in the last 3 themselves. Not good. Bookies, though, will back Georgia on this one. I think I've gone there as well. I've gone with a draw myself, 1-1. Bulgaria ending with a point in the end. Meanwhile, Spain taking on Turkey win a game that does matter a little anyway. Of course, technically, Turkey can catch Spain, but they need a massive goal swing. So come at the Estadio de la Cartuga. Spain under Luis de la Fuente. They sit top of the pops there right now. 5 wins on the spin up against Turkey. Montella just 1 defeat in the last 5. They have played Spain 6 times since 1967. Spain have won 5 of them. Turkey yet to win. There's been 1 draw. They last played, of course, at Turkey back in September. It was a 6-0 win for Spain in this qualifiers. The last time they played in this country, in Spain, it was a 3-0 win back in June 2016. Or tell a lie, maybe it was a 1-0 win for Spain back in March 2009. Spain picking up a 4-0 win over Georgia. They've scored 8 goals in the last 2. As for Turkey, they've scored 12 goals in the last 3 themselves. The bookies, though, will back Spain. It is in Spain. Got to back them as well. Going to go 3-1 win. Spain, of course, ending it in perfect style. Into Austria against Bosnia Herzegovina. That's right, coming out to Öztapai Stadium. Austria under Ralf Rangnic. Top of the pops right now. 18 points for them. Just 1 defeat in the last 6. Against Bosnia Herzegovina under Sergei Barbers. They sit second with 16 points themselves. Just 1 defeat in the last 5, of course. Looking at the points, a win for Bosnia could see them leapfrog Austria and take the title right at the end. But they played 4 times in 2015. 1 win apiece and 2 draws. They did play in Bosnia back in September. It was a 2-1 win for Austria. The last time they played in Austria, though, was a 0-0 draw back in November 2018. Austria, though, picking up a win over Cyprus most recently. 2-0 winners there. As for Bosnia-Herzegovina, 3-1 winners over Romania. Heading into this one. The bookies will back Austria on this one. They are at home. I think they'll get the win here, but only just scraping by with a 2-1 win. Final couple matches here. We've got Romania against San Marino. Should be one-way traffic at the Stadion Iliuniana. That's right. Romania and Mircea Lucescu sit third right now. 10 points for them. Just 1 defeat in the last 4. Up against San Marino, Roberto Civioli. Of course, they're bottom of the pile there. No points. 5 defeats on the spin. They played Romania 4 times, lost each and every one of them, including the 5-1 loss in San Marino back in March 2025. The last time they played in Romania was a 6-0 win way back in December 1990. Romania did lose to Bosnia-Herzegovina last time around. San Marino just the 1-0 loss to Czechia in a friendly heading into this. But they're expected to lose this one, and badly. I've gone with a 4-0 win for Romania, but it might be more than that. Let's kick it on forward to the final couple. Then we're at Belgium against Liechtenstein at the Stade Maurice du Français. Belgium and Rudi Garcia are top of the pops. They're 15 points for them, unbeaten in at least the last 6. However, just winning once of the last 3. Liechtenstein haven't won in the last 12. And only played Belgium just the once since 2025. It was the reverse fixture. It was a 6-0 win for Belgium in Liechtenstein back in September. Coming into this, though, Belgium with that draw, surprise draw against Kazakhstan. Meanwhile, Liechtenstein with that just a 1-0 loss to Wales at Liechtenstein back on the 15th of November. The Belgians, though, should win this one and should put a bit of a scoreline down as well to show the world, the watching world, what they're all about. So I'm going to go with a 6-0 win? 6-0 win in the end. But let's finally get over to the Group J encounter that has a bit of something on the line. It's Wales up against North Macedonia. Craig Bellamy sitting third right now, 13 points, just 1 win in the last 4. Bit of grim stuff here for the Welsh. Up against North Macedonia, just 1 defeat in the last 6 for them, however drawn 3 on the bounce. They have played 3 times, these two nations, since 2013, 1 win apiece and 1 draw. They last played, of course, in North Macedonia, where it did end up all square back in March 2025. 1-1 it was in the reverse fixture. Meanwhile, the last time they played in Wales, it was a 1-0 win for the Welsh back in October 2013. Wales on the back of that 1-0 win over Liechtenstein. Of course, defeats to Canada, England and Belgium still ringing in their ears. As for North Macedonia, a 0-0 draw against Latvia. Prior to that, a 1-1 score at home to Kazakhstan. The Welsh are actually favoured to win this one, and I've got them winning it again by the skin of their teeth. 2-1 win, which of course, again, keep their journey into 2026 for the World Cup itself via the playoffs. That is it, guys. That's all I've got for you. Make sure you subscribe, smash the like wherever you are in the world. Of course, we'll look forward to seeing you when we return, whenever that is. But until then, we're done.